Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Daybreak. It's so good to see all of you here with us this morning. Would you stand and sing? Step out of the shadows. Step out of the grave. Break into the wild and don't be afraid. Run into wide open spaces. Grace is waiting for you. Dance like the weight has been lifted. Grace is waiting. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. There is freedom. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. There is freedom. Come out of the dark, just as you are, into the fullness of His love. For the Spirit is here, let there be freedom, and let there be freedom. Bring all of the burdens, bring all of the scars, and come back to communion, come back to the start, and run into wide open spaces. Grace is waiting for you. Dance like the weight has been lifted. Grace is waiting. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. There is freedom. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. There is freedom. Come out of the dark, just as you are, into the fullness of His love. For the Spirit is here, let there be freedom. Let there be freedom. Chains will fall, prisons shake at the sound of Jesus' name. Lives made whole, hearts awake at the sound of Jesus' name. And chains will fall, prisons shake at the sound of Jesus' name. Lives made whole, hearts awake at the sound of Jesus' name. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. There is freedom. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. There is freedom. Come out of the dark, just as you are, into the fullness of His love. For the Spirit is here, let there be freedom. Oh, let there be freedom. Thank you, Lord, for your freedom.
Can't go back to the beginning. Can't control what tomorrow will bring. But I know here in the middle is the place where you promised to be. Meet us here, Lord. Not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? Sing with us. As I walk now through the valley, let your love rise above every fear, like the sun shaping the shadow. In my weakness, your glory appears. I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here again? I'm not enough, Lord. I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want is all you are. Will you meet me here Not for a minute was I forsaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. So come, Holy Spirit, dry bones awaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. Not for a minute was I forsaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this place. Come, Holy Spirit, dry bones awaken. The Lord is in this place. The Lord is in this Dry bones awaken. The Lord is in this place. Not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? All I want, Lord, is all I want, is all you are. Will you meet me here again? Sing those words again, Lord. Not enough. I'm not enough unless you come. Will you meet me here again? 'Cause all I want
Father, that's our prayer this morning. With all that we have, Lord, with everything that we bring into this room this morning, will you meet us? Will you meet us right here, right where we are? Let us hear from you this morning. Let the Holy Spirit just indwell us and inform how we feel about ourselves, Lord. Help us to know. No matter where we are in this moment, no matter what we bring, what's heavy on our hearts this morning, Lord, we lay it all down. We lay it all down at your feet. Remind us that you are good and we are loved.
You can be seated. Through your story is my fingerprints in the valley. There is confidence in the shadow. I will be your strength. One thing's for sure, I am your Lord.
Through the chaos, I will be your joy. When you finish, I have so much more in the waiting. I'm an open door. Stand still and know I am your Lord. There'll be times when you're up and times when you're down. I'm never too far. Just look around and you'll find me. I'm by your side, arms open wide. I am good, you are loved. Oh, I am good, you are loved.
So what was and is covered by the one who was and is. You're covered by love. What was and is covered by the one who was and is. You're covered by love. I am good, you are loved. Oh, I am good and you are loved. Oh, yeah. There'll be times when you're
Times
up
when you're up,
and times when you're
times when
down.
you're down.
I'm never too far.
Just look around and you'll find me. I'm by your side, arms open wide, and I am good, you are loved. Oh, I am good, you are loved.
Yeah, yeah.
I am good, you are loved.
So no matter what comes or goes, one thing that you must know is that I am good, you are loved. For what was and is covered by the one who was and is. You're covered by love. What was and is covered by the one who was and is. You're covered by love. Covered by my love.
Covered by love.
You're covered by my love. Doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter who you were. You're still covered. You're covered. You're covered. Oh, you're covered. Covered. You're covered.
Ooh, if you forget, just lift your hand. My banner over you is love. If you forget, just lift your hand. My banner over you is love.
If you forget, just lift your hand. My banner over you is love. If you forget, just lift your hand. My banner over you is love. My banner over you is love. Oh,
And what was and
is covered by the one who was and is. You're covered by love. What was and is covered by the one who was and is. You're covered by love. I am good. You are loved. Whoa, I am good. You are loved. Oh, I am good. You are loved. Always remember, I am good and you are
Good morning, Daybreak. I'm Matt, and I want to welcome you to our Good Hope Road and Gettysburg Pike campuses today. We're so glad you're here. If you're new to us, we'd love to say hi and get to know you, so stop out at the hub after the service, and we'll answer any questions you have about Daybreak. If you're new to Daybreak in the last few weeks or months, and you're thinking you might want to make this church your church, come hear what next steps are available to you at our next gathering on Sunday, December 8th from noon to 1 p.m. Lunch is on us, so come get to know our staff and learn more about our church. RSVP for you and whoever attends church with you by checking the box on your response card or by visiting next.db.church. God's heart for the world has always been part of our DNA at Daybreak. Our Greater Alliance family roots call us to pray, give, and go to support God's work globally, and we're passionate about answering that call. That's why this year we're excited to announce that we'll be broadening our global ministry offerings to provide more ways to engage year-round. From building a larger global partner care team to taking short-term trips various seasons of the year, we encourage our entire church family to get in on what God is doing around the world. The first new way we're inviting you to do that is through our spring trip to Cuba. Get info about this March 2020 short-term trip, as well as our summer trips, in the lobby today. The deadline to apply for Cuba is December 22nd, so be sure to grab some info and get all your questions answered by a member of our Global Ministries team. Our next 7th inning stretch Friday fun night for kids with special needs and their siblings is coming up on December 13th. Come help us love kids like Jesus and give parents a free night out. To sign up to serve, visit 7thinningstretch.db.church. Or, if you can't serve at the event, consider donating a restaurant gift card to bless the parents of the kids we're serving. Just drop donations off to the KidMin desk at either campus. Christmas will be here before we know it, and we're already planning to make it a meaningful experience for each of you as well as our guests. Before then, though, we need your help to get our campuses ready for the season. Each year, our Finishing Touch ministry does a phenomenal job of decorating our buildings for Christmas, and they invite our entire church family to join them. Come help decorate our Gettysburg Pike campus on Saturday, November 30th, or our Good Hope Road campus on Monday, December 2nd. To sign up to serve, write decorating on your response card or email Susie Andrews. Our Primetime Adult Ministry has 2 awesome Christmas events coming up. Join them for Christmas caroling at the Woods at Cedar Run on Sunday, December 8th, and then come share in a Christmas dinner together on Saturday, December 14th. Get more info and sign up for these events in the lobby or online at primetime.db.church. Through Daybreak, God is changing lives, and I hope you know just how much your generosity sustains the incredible ministry that helps people meet Jesus here. If you consider Daybreak home, invest in what God is doing through our church family by giving online at give.db.church or by putting cash or a check in an offering envelope. Those envelopes and your response cards can be dropped in the boxes as you exit. And if you know you'll be missing an upcoming Sunday, be sure to watch our services live online at live.db.church. Want to know what else is going on around here? Check out The Scoop and connect with us online throughout the week. Thanks for joining us today. We're looking forward to a great morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Daybreak today. My name is Rick. If you're new to us, we're glad that you're here today. And today we have just a really incredible day planned for you. It's a gift that we hope to offer you today, that we actually hope that God offers you through our service today. And some of you are already a little thrown off. You're like, hey, usually I wander in near the end of the opening song while Rick's up there talking, and it was different today. There were more songs on the front end, and you're wondering if the time change was this weekend. It's not. You're here, but we wanted to be intentional this week. We want to have some extra time in God's presence. We want to have some extra time where we believe that when we come into His presence, that God does this work of transformation in us. When we open our hearts to Him and we allow Him to speak to us in these moments, that amazing things can happen. It can be a catalytic time in our lives, in our relationship with Him. So we hope that today is refreshing for you. We hope it's restorative for you. Dan Matarisi, who leads our Celebrate Ministries, who often you see in the back with a guitar, will be out front today. He's going to share a little bit of a sermonette, we'll call it. Dan says he's a non-sanctioned speaker because he's not officially a pastor on our staff, but let me tell you this. Dan shepherds so well in the ministries that he leads, and he has so much of God's heart flowing through him, so I know you're going to be encouraged through Dan this morning by what he shares. You know, last weekend, our Wide Open series came to a culmination where we came together with our commitments before God, and as a church family, it was just so powerful in both services. So many of you came and you said, hey, this is how I'm responding in obedience to God. And it was like our way of saying, God, we want to be generous like you're generous. That's our heart. It was such an incredible, incredible weekend experience together. And we believe as a church family that this Wide Open initiative that we've been a part of for the last 6 weeks is probably the single greatest discipleship initiative that we've ever had together as a church family. Because everyone came together and sought Jesus and said, Lord, how do you want us to follow you? How do you want us to become more like you? And it was so powerful to see that happen in our church family and the stories and how God's been at work and how people have taken steps of surrender in new ways blows us away. And we're incredibly excited to see what God has planned for us as a church in the days ahead. And if for any reason you were not able to be a part of the Wide Open initiative and you still want to be a part of it, you can still make a commitment, fill out a commitment card either this Sunday or next Sunday, because in 2 weeks, we are going to celebrate everything that God has done. We're going to celebrate the results of the Wide Open initiative. It's going to be an incredible week, 2 Sundays from now, December the 8th, so you don't want to miss that. But we're going to celebrate all that God has done, and equally, if not more important, we're going to share the stories, many of your stories that you've already shared with us, of how God has worked in you in this time, how He's done a work of transformation in you. And some of these stories are going to blow you away. It's just going to amaze you to hear how God has been at work in and through our church family. So if you'd like to share your story, maybe you don't feel like your story's been told yet, or you haven't had a chance to share it, you can share it online at generositystory.db.church. You can write it on a response card. You can email us as pastors or staff. We've been receiving a lot of those stories that way. Well, I want to invite you to stand, say good morning to a few people today, and then we're going to continue in worship in just a few moments. Go ahead and stand and say good morning. All right, you can go ahead and be seated.
I have seen the pace of your life, the stress, the anxiety, the constant movement, rushing from one place to the next, chasing after your desires, or running from your fears. I see how you struggle, striving to meet your needs all on your own. I see the burdens placed upon you and the burdens you place upon yourself. In the midst of this chaos and hurry, I am calling out to you to slow down. Be still and know that I am God. It is I who set the earth in motion. It is I who sustains you, protects you, and provides for your needs. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Trust in me with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid, for I will never leave you. Let your soul find rest in me, and let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. For neither death nor life, the present nor the future, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate you from my love. In this world, you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world.
Breathe. To take air, oxygen into the lungs and expel it, inhale and exhale. To pause as for breath. To take rest. The human body can only survive a few minutes without oxygen before damage starts to occur. After about 10 minutes, the damage is often irreversible, and very few people retain any cognitive function after the brain has gone more than 15 minutes without oxygen. So why do I say this? It strikes me as interesting that our Creator, in all his wisdom and love, designed our bodies with a complex yet beautiful system that keeps us reliant on our ability to take in oxygen, one breath at a time. As Rick said, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dan. I am typically the guy jumping around back there with the guitar, worshiping with you guys on Sunday. And honestly, I just want to say it is the privilege of my life to worship with this church family every Sunday. My wife Ashley and I have called Daybreak Church home since about 2005. And again, we're so blessed and so thankful that we get to be part of this church family. So today, I want to invite you into something, as we talked about, that may be a little bit different for some of you. I want to invite you to slow down, to be still, to take a breath, to invite the presence of God in, and to let it be the thing that sustains you and keeps you. How many of you are runners? Show of hands, runners in the room? All right, fantastic. Yeah, good. How about long distance runners? Like, wow. Is this maybe the cross-country team? Fantastic. Great. Like real runners. Welcome here. Also, let's go Falcons. So you guys know the feeling when you have just crossed the finish line after a race, right? Your body and your mind are a beautiful combination of joy, pain, relief, exhaustion. Well, for me, and maybe for you too, fall can sometimes feel like a spiritual, physical, and emotional marathon. You've got kids starting school, you got small groups kicking off, you've got fall sports, semesters are beginning quickly, projects at work are ramping up, and here in central Pennsylvania, those beautiful fall colors that you see on that photo last for about 3 days until the gray comes and the winter of discontent begins. You know, beyond all the things that fill our schedule, for those of us that are walking out this faith journey, we know that surrender doesn't always feel easy. It is the most beautiful thing. It's freeing. But it does require intentionality. It requires us, sometimes that we pry open our hands. And it requires a willingness for us to sacrifice. Mix into all that the inspiring way that our church family has grappled over the last 6 weeks in our generosity initiative, and it's easy to see why we may feel a bit tired. Now, some of you are struggling to stay focused with me because I just said the doomed 7-letter word, grapple. We use this word a lot in the last 6 weeks in our series, so much so that a lot of church family members and a lot of our staff were kindly saying, I think we're done with the grapple. So 2 weeks ago when Jason was speaking, he showed this photo. So Susie, one of our staff members, had expressed her readiness to not hear the word grapple anymore. And then the next day, her and her husband, Pastor Sean, were driving, and this is the car that is in front of them at a red light. Well, this week, Pastor Rick and I were out grabbing lunch at one of central Pennsylvania's finest dining establishments, Teriyaki Express in the Capital City Mall. And as we walked from our car in, check out the car we saw in the parking lot in the mall. That's right. So you can't make this stuff up. Maybe God is encouraging us to continue to be open to the grapple. Now listen, for those of you that are accuracy driven, I get it. That says grapple. It does not say grapple. But grapple doesn't make for a funny story, so we are going to go with grapple this morning. Listen, fall can be crazy. We talked about just a few of the things that can run us a little bit dry in fall. You may be feeling like me that you have nothing left in the tank. Well, here's the good news. The holidays are coming, right? A time of rest, relaxation, reduced schedules. Oh, the holidays. It's the most wonderful time of the year. You know, I do actually love the holidays. They combine two of my passions, cookies and the sweet angelic voice of Bing Crosby. But look, the holidays, they are beautiful in more ways than I can describe. But I think we all know, if we're being honest, that in themselves, they may actually take more from us than what they give us. There's so much offered to us that keeps us busy, but not happy, not joyful, not content. Our entire culture, especially during the Christmas season, is actually set up to lead us towards not being content. Sorry to all my marketing friends in the room, but even every ad you see is built on the premise of making you believe that you need something or want something that you don't have. In this season, our minds are flooded with never-ending questions. Did I buy enough for my kids? Did I do enough for my neighbors? What did I get my parents? When are we going to see grandma? How can I afford this? Oh my goodness, I forgot to get something for my wife. If we're not careful, the holidays will give us what I like to call a case of the overs. We will be overcommitted. We will be overtired. We will have overspent. We would have overscheduled. We would have overeaten. And by the end, we are simply over it. Look, I'm not trying to convince you that the holidays are bad. They aren't, but by themselves, they will run us dry. The good news is, Jesus came to offer us a better way. Jesus offers peace, he offers grace, he offers rest. In Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30, it says, "Come to me, all who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart. And you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light." So that's Jesus' offer to you. All the great information, possessions, busyness, and entertainment of the season will not satisfy our thirst. They will just make us more thirsty. But finding ways to breathe in a little bit of Jesus each day in this holiday season, I honestly believe it could change everything for all of us. So about a year ago, a few of us on the worship team were talking about the daily rhythms of our faith journey, and we came to this crazy realization. We can sometimes view God sustaining us like we view ourselves in our cars going to fill up at the gas station. So let me explain. We drive until we notice that yellow E on the dashboard that reminds us, man, we are close to running empty. And then if you're anything like me, you try to find a way strategically to get to that gas station, and then you fill up, and then you leave, and you go back to going until you yourself and everyone around you kind of notices that you're running just on fumes. What if we started to view our relationship with God not like our vehicle and how we go and fill up at the gas station, but rather, what if we viewed it like breathing, what we talked about earlier? I believe that's actually a more accurate picture of how God created us from a spiritual sense. We need God moment by moment to sustain us, to bring us joy, to help us be content. Just like oxygen in our lungs that we talked about earlier, we can't store up any more than what is needed for this one moment. We need to learn to take in what the Father offers us, breath by breath, moment by moment. As I mentioned earlier, this isn't about discouraging us from engaging in all the good things that the holiday season has to offer. After all, there is so much beauty in gathering with family to be thankful for God's provision. And man, is it good to celebrate the birth of our Savior. But guys, we know that those good and beautiful things, they will not give us peace. So in John chapter 7, Jesus is in Judea during the Festival of the Tabernacles, also called the Festival of Shelters. And these feasts involved a long pilgrimage, for most of the Jewish people. And they lasted about a week or so. So there's so much cool stuff that's going on in this chapter of John. But the one thing that stands out at the end is the invitation that Jesus makes to the people. He knew that they had just come a long way, that they had just spent a week or so at this religious festival. And what does he say to them? What does he offer them? In John 7:37 and 38, he says, on the last day, the climax of the festival, Jesus stood and shouted to the crowds, anyone who's thirsty may come to me. Anyone who believes in me may come and drink. For the scriptures declare rivers of living water will flow from his heart. Jesus knew that even this good thing that all these people got to take part in, he knew that essentially they still needed the one thing that would be living water to their souls. So that is our hope for you today and all days, that you might pause, enter into worship, and experience the rivers of living water that Jesus talks about in John chapter 7. I believe it is the one thing that we're truly all thirsty for. So as the worship team makes their way back up to the platform, I'm just going to ask you to reflect. Where are you today in this moment? What's the burden that you're carrying? Is it family issues? Is it the stress of the holidays coming? Is it the stress of the semester coming to an end? Is it the full-on sports and kids' activities of the fall have left your tank empty? Is it big life transitions that you're facing and you just need God to show up now? Wherever you are today and wherever you may be on your faith journey, I want to encourage you to do this one thing. Slow down this morning. Breathe. Take in the presence of God. I know it sounds a little crazy, but trust me, it's the only thing that will sustain you in this moment, in the season ahead, and in all the seasons after that. So as we do spend the rest of the morning worshiping, I want you to feel some freedom to express yourself however you feel led. You can record a response or a prayer in your response card at any time. You can stand, you can sit, you can raise your arms, you can open your hands, you can come up to the front. There's freedom here, but just be open. Be open to breathing in what God is offering to you. Would you all close your eyes and sit and receive this word of blessing from our Father? I'm calling out to you to slow down. Be still and know that I am God. It is I who set the earth in motion. It is I who sustains you, protects you, and provides for your needs. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Trust in me with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid, for I will never leave you. Let your soul find rest in me, and let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. For neither death nor life, the present nor the future, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate you from my love. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. God, simply put, we just want you. We are thankful for all that you provide, for the seasons that have come and for the seasons that are ahead, but we know that none of that compares to what we have in you. We want your presence. We want to simply be with you, Lord, in this moment and in each day. Help us to breathe you in. Thank you. Amen.
Caught up in your presence, I just want to sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I never want to leave. Oh, I'm not here for blessings. Jesus, you don't owe me anything. So more than anything that you can do, I just want you. I'm sorry when I've just gone through the motions. I'm sorry when I just sang another song. Take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you. And I'm sorry when I've come with my agenda. I'm sorry when I forgot that you're enough. Take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you. I'm caught up in your presence. I just want to sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I never want to leave. Oh, I'm not here for blessings. Jesus, you don't owe me anything. So more than anything that you can do, I just want you. I just want you and nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you and nothing else, and nothing else, nothing else else will do. I just want you and nothing else, and nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you and nothing else, and nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you and nothing else, and nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you and nothing else, and nothing else, Jesus, nothing else will do. Sing this out. I just want you and nothing else, and nothing else, and nothing else will do. 'Cause I just want you and nothing else, and nothing else, nothing else will do. Oh, I just want you and nothing else. Oh, nothing else, nothing else will do. Jesus, I just want you and nothing else, and nothing else, and nothing else will do. I'm caught up in your presence. I just wanna sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I never wanna leave. Oh, I'm not here for blessings. Ooh. Jesus, you don't owe me anything. So more than anything that you can do, well, I just want you.
Come unto me, all who are weary. Come unto me, all who weep. Come unto me, all who are burdened, and I will give you rest. Come unto me, all who are thirsty. Come unto me, all who are faint. Come unto me, all who are sorrowed, and I will give you rest. I'll give you rest for your soul. I'll give you peace through the storm. I'll give you joy and make you whole. Come unto me, I'll give you rest. Come unto for the broken. There is a peace for your soul. There is a joy that comes from heaven. He'll never let you go. I'll give you rest for your soul. I'll give you peace through the storm. I'll give you joy, make you whole. Come unto me, I'll give you rest. He says, I'll give you rest for your soul. I'll give you peace through the storm. I'll give you joy, make you whole. Come unto me, I'll give you rest. Give you rest. Come unto me. Give you rest.
Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. You're worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are. thank you for being someone worthy of my trust and my affection that I can offer you in such a small amount, God. But thank you for who you are. You are love, and you are peace. You're my joy. You're my strength. I don't know where all of you are this morning with how you experience God's love. God's love is constant, but even in my life, I feel like it comes and goes the way that I experience it personally. Maybe one of the ways this morning that you can experience God in this place with these other worshipers around you is to stand to your feet and feel him sweeping over this room with his presence, with his Holy Spirit speaking to each of our hearts together. And he is jealous for me. Love's like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. And all of a sudden, I'm unaware of these afflictions, eclipsed by glory. And I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. And oh, how he loves us all. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us all. Our prize, drawn to redemption by the grace in his eyes. If his grace is an ocean, we're all sinking. And heaven meets earth like an unforeseen kiss, and my heart turns violently inside of my chest. And I don't have time to maintain regrets when I think about the Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves.
Lamentations 3:22 through 25 says, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed. For his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Lord, great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. And today the invitation that he's given us to seek him is this: come to me. Come to me. All of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. It's beautiful to come together and to have mornings like this, but what's even better is that we don't have to wait for Sunday to be able to have experiences with God like this. We can come to him every day. We can seek him. We can let him teach us. And his promise in his word is that we'll find rest for our souls. So this week, as you go and as you prepare to take a pause, to be grateful for that God offers himself to us at any moment as we come to him, as we seek him, as we lay our burdens down at his feet. Thanks for being here today. If you didn't get a chance to fill out your response card, if you have any prayer requests, feel free to write those on your card. You can put your response cards. You can also put any commitment cards that you filled out today back in the white boxes as you go. And although you guys are always super helpful after second service, we don't have to tear down chairs today, so you can leave them up. Thanks for being here today. Go in peace. Have a great week.